we talk about the young fellas and, you know, sort of where did it begin for the both of you, and how did you actually get interested in carpentry?
Yeah, so for myself, we had pretty different kind of lead-ins to carpentry. I had an interest in design. I went through school and I basically was super passionate about architecture. I didn't have the marks to do it, unfortunately. Like, I ended up landing a construction management degree, which I kind of fell into as a bit of a second preference. I had a lot of crossover with architecture, so I kind of settled for that as a bit of as a plan B, and it kind of as a pathway, and that kind of morphed into, you know, getting a job with a tier 1 builder, super competitive out of uni, which ultimately I hated. It was this real kick in the teeth where I put all this time and effort in, and I've kind of realised I really didn't like that part of the industry. I didn't like the people that I was working, I definitely forged some great friendships, which I've still got from that part of my life, but I didn't see myself pursuing that style of work. For me, my happy place was every summer while I was studying was I'd come back and I'd frame with a mate of mine, and that was like my super happy place. I'd come back, and it's just what started my drive for carpentry pretty much. And there's a bit of a crossover from Brad and I with the guys we learnt off. The guy that I'd come back and work with was also taught by Brad's boss.
He was my entry into the industry.
Yeah, right.
So I was pretty much floating.
Is that how do you boys know each other as well? Is that
our mums are best mates?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
that's awesome. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, known each other for a long time. But I was kind of floating after school. I had a knee reco, so I was kind of out of action for a while, coming straight out of high school. I knew Joel as well, who Tim was working with over summers, and sort of started lining up to maybe go and work with him. And then while that was sort of happening, his boss, Andrew Sturts, had an apprentice who'd broken his arm. So I went and helped him for 6 weeks, and then he wanted me to stay. Yeah. I ended up working with Andy for almost 6 years, just me and Andy, which was a great upbringing for me. And I think people probably, I don't know what the word is, probably don't put enough emphasis on going and learning those processes at that framing stage. Like, we've found that everyone that we've brought through that have ended up becoming what I would call elite have started in that world. Yeah. And it's a tough world, that production framing. It's go, go, go. But it teaches you work ethic, it teaches you how to make processes around what you're doing.
Help you make decisions quickly and move quickly.
It's very repeatable.
Yeah, because you've got to get it up. You've got to get the frame up as quickly as possible.
But I would say from our experiences, we found, Andy was an older guy, maybe 50 when I started with him, and he'd been framing for 20 plus years, just framing for 20 plus years then, and he had very specific ways of doing everything, and that taught me this amazing ability to be able to build anything. And I think especially that framing stage as a start point it's probably the only part of our industry that's very much dictated you have to do it one way. It gets inspected afterwards, super rigorous around the codes of how it has to be done, what it has to be done, whereas every other part of our industry, more or less, you can make it up as long as it looks right at the end of the day, if that makes sense. You can hang a door however you want, as long as the door works, no one's ever going to question it. Yeah. Whereas that start learning how to do something where it has to be done a certain way is super good, I reckon.
Yeah, right.